welcome back to my channel. All right, you know the drill. Before we get started on today's video, please make sure you go to my website at letstalkdarling.com. Make sure you scroll on down to the bottom, put your email in so I can stay in contact with you in case I get put in the YouTube penitentiary and you guys can no longer see my videos, or I just get kicked off of social media, period. I want to have a way to stay in contact with you. Before you exit my website, scroll back on up to the top and follow me on all my social media platforms because I post on all of them every day, all day. In addition, one last thing, make sure you join the Let's Talk fam. If you go to the main YouTube page of my channel, you will see a join button to the right of the subscription button, and there you can join the Let's Talk fam. I'm gonna be doing a $100 gift card raffle for the first 50 people that join the channel, and also the folks at UncleTom.com have been kind enough to send me a few copies of Uncle Tom 1 to give out to you guys. If you don't know already, they're gonna actually be coming out with Uncle Tom 2 very soon, which I am really, really excited about. So if you have not seen Uncle Tom, I really want you to see it, and you have a chance to win a DVD. All right, let's get started on today's video. So we're gonna be talking about two things, okay? Both having to do with the Olympics. Number one, we're gonna be talking about the situation with Sha'Carri Richardson, who is the runner that recently just qualified for the Olympics. And then we're also gonna be talking about this very, very interesting topic about swim caps in the Olympics and then banning what they're calling these soul caps that are designed for women with ethnic hair, okay? So we're gonna be talking about those two things today, but first let's start off with Miss Sha'Carri Richardson. So I was really, really rooting for this girl. I'm still rooting for her, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna read you an article, but she actually won a 100-meter race in the qualifying event for the Olympics, which qualified her to go to the Olympics, making her the fastest woman in the world. She has the fastest time on record for this particular event. And she was so excited. She ran up and hugged her grandmother. It was really, really sad because I think she had recently also lost her biological mother. So it was just a really good story all around. And I was really, really rooting for this girl. She was a true athlete, a true success story. But unfortunately, she has now been put on suspension from the Olympics because she popped negative on a drug test showing that she had marijuana in her system after running the race. So we're gonna start off by first reading the article so that you guys know, get the full picture of the story. I'm gonna give you my input on it, and then we're gonna move on to the next story, okay? So here we go. American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson has been suspended for a month after testing positive for marijuana, the U.S. anti-doping agency announced Friday morning. The positive test result invalidates Richardson's performance at the U.S. Olympic trials in Eugene, Oregon, where she won the women's 100-meter and barred the 21-year-old from competing in her signature event at the Tokyo Olympics later this month. Richardson issued an apology on NBC show Friday morning, and I'll put a link to that in the description box below because I can't play it here or they'll demonetize the video. I want to take responsibility for my actions, she said. I know what I did. I know what to do. I know what I'm not allowed to do, and I still made that decision. In response to a question from host Savannah Guthrie, Richardson confirmed that she consumed marijuana after an interview with a reporter in which the reporter told her that her biological mother had died. She said that the eve of such an important event was a heavy emotional burden for her, and it sent her into a state of emotional panic. It has never been steroids. It will never be steroids, she said. Marijuana is banned in competition under World Anti-Doping Agency regulations. In the wake of Richardson's positive test, Jenna Prandini, who finished fourth in the 100 in the trials, will replace Richardson in the 100 in the Tokyo Olympics, okay? Javier Oliver and Tina Daniels, who finished second and third respectively, are also on the team. Gabby Thomas has been included in the event as an alternate, and it appears that Richardson may be selected as a member of the women's 4x100 relay team, which will take place after her suspension ends. The USATF has the discretion to select the members of its relay team, okay? It goes on to say the condition of Sha'Carri Richardson is incredibly unfortunate and devastating for everyone involved, USA Track and Field said in a statement. Athlete health and wellness is one of our most important priorities, and we will work with ShaCarri to ensure she has adequate resources to address any mental health challenges now and in the future. So I'll link this article down below if you want to read it for yourself. It really is a sad kind of, bunch of unfortunate, I don't know how to say that, unfortunate events. Got a little tongue-tied there. For somebody to find out that they have lost their mother in an interview, being told that by a complete stranger, just kind of caught off guard, is really, really a sad thing, and it shouldn't have been done that way. And, shame on that reporter for doing that. Now, I don't know if maybe they assumed that she knew this, but without really knowing, what the relationship was with her mother, I think it was incredibly insensitive for this reporter to do it that way, okay? That being said, I don't agree with her handling the news that way and going off and, smoking or whatever she did. But I get that people handle things different ways, okay? Now, I really appreciate that she owned up to what she did, and she said, look, I know the rules, I know what I wasn't supposed to do, but my mind went blank and I just did what I did. I think that this is a really important moment for her because she could take this opportunity, and I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to do it, to tell you the truth. This girl seems like she has a really, really good level head on her shoulders. But I think in time, she could really use this story of hers to show children, to show other people who are trying to accomplish their dreams, whatever they are, that it can just take one bad decision, regardless of what the circumstances are around that decision, for you to lose everything, okay? Or at least lose your dream, or sacrifice your dream. I think that she is going to persevere one way or another, and I really hope that the Olympic Committee allows her to run in this other race, and that she blows it out of the water. I'm really, really rooting for her, but it is important to know that you sometimes have to find alternate ways to deal with things, and going to drugs or alcohol or anything like that is definitely not the way to do it. Now, what I have been really, really discouraged by is online, you see a lot of people, a lot of social justice warriors who like to make everything about race, turning around and saying that they're only doing this to her because she is a Black woman, okay? I want to emphasize that she has made it 100% clear that she is owned up to this. She herself is not blaming it on the fact that she is a Black woman or feels that they're attacking her personally. She's just saying, I messed up, I had a hard moment hit me, and this is how I dealt with it, and I'm sorry, And I think that people should be given, forgiveness for things like that, especially when they own up to it. But I just hate that online you see people trying to turn this into a race thing, which it is not. And here's what I'm going to give you as far as information to tell you that she is nothing new. Now, one of the biggest ones that we, all heard about when it was going on was when Michael Phelps was busted smoking in a photograph out of a bong. He was smoking marijuana. Now, this was 6 months after he had gone to the Olympics, and, somebody took a picture of him smoking, and he, again, admitted, I messed up. This was the wrong thing to do. And he lost a ton of endorsements. Now, she only has a 30-day suspension, which could or could not impact her. But he had, I think, a 3-month suspension, 3 or 4 month suspension, plus he lost all of his endorsements, or a majority of his major endorsements that he had, right? So, that just goes to show that it's not a race thing. It's a policy thing. It just is what it is, right? In addition, over time since the Olympics started, there has been a slew of athletes who have been disqualified or have even lost their medals, okay, that they had already won, not even under the influence, but had lost their medals because they tested positive after the race for illicit substances or drugs, right? I'm just going to give you some stats here really quick, and I'll put them up on the screen. But it says the top 3 offending countries when it comes to drugs at the Olympics. The number 1 is Russia. They have lost 12 medals. Number 2 is USA. They've lost 11. And number 3 is Bulgaria. They have lost 7. The top 3 offending events is men's weightlifting, women's cross country, and men's cycling. Okay, obviously, those are, events that require a lot of almost like superhuman type strength, right? You're having to run fast, you're having to lift a bunch of weight, you're having to cycle for long distances. Not that the other sports obviously don't require those things, but those are the top 3 offending events. And the top 3 offending drugs are darbepoetin at number 1, which it boosts red blood cells that carry oxygen to your muscles, so it's making your muscles stronger. Furosemide, which is a diuretic used to lower body weight, and THG, which is a banned steroid tweaked by chemists to elude detection, so that you don't get caught, basically. But anyways, it goes all the way from 1968 to current day, listing all the different athletes that have been banned for the use of illicit substances. And if you look at the list, which I will post it in the link below, and I will also kind of show it on the screen, as we're talking, you will see that there are very little black for any type of illicit substances. Most of them are white or of European descent. I just want to point that out, not that it matters to me, but I want to shoot down this whole race narrative when it comes to this issue. So definitely let me know what side of the fence you guys stand on. Let's all pray for her, post positive messages for her. I think that this is definitely going to be a learning opportunity for her, but I think from seeing what kind of person she has put herself out there to be, I think she's going to pull through this moment and look back on it as a very good teaching moment for her. All right, so let's move on to the next subject, which is kind of a little bit of a, I think it's kind of funny, if you ask me. When you see the picture, you're going to understand, well, I don't want to make fun of it, but it's kind of funny that we're even talking about this. But there was a post this morning online that my daughter actually brought my attention to. It didn't come up in my feed. And it was talking about swimming caps designed for natural hair are banned from the Olympics. I'm going to read you an excerpt from this article. It states, swimming caps designed for natural black hair and created by a black-owned company will not be allowed at the upcoming Olympic Games in Tokyo. The International Swimming Federation rejected an application submitted last year by the British brand Soul Cap for its products to be officially recognized. The decision means the caps cannot be worn at the upcoming games. Soul Cap makes swimming caps designed to protect thick, curly, and voluminous hair. FINA said the caps do not follow the natural form of the head. Okay. I can go on to read the rest of the article, but I won't. I'm going to put it below so you can read it, but I'm going to quickly give you my 2 cents on this. Okay. Now, I am a former competitive swimmer, so I know the struggle of the swim caps, as does every other swimmer. No matter what your hair texture is, swim caps suck. Okay, they pull at your hair, they roll up, they tear. Now you guys see that I have really thick curly hair. When I was a swimmer, okay, I couldn't just put this back in a ponytail, and I had much longer hair and fit it all under a swim cap. I had to go in the shower, wet my hair, slick it back, tuck it underneath the swim cap, hope that it didn't tear. My head would be like pounding from the headache of the swim cap just squeezing my head because I had so much underneath it that it just wasn't a pleasant experience. In addition to that, the bathing suits were always a problem for me. I'm curvier. I've always been curvier. I have a big bottom. I have big hips. And the swimming suits that are made for, most swimmers just didn't look good on my body, didn't feel good on my body. But it is what it is, and I had to make do if I wanted to be a swimmer. Nobody said that being an athlete and the things that you have to wear as an athlete are made to be comfortable. You just sometimes have to pull through. And I kind of feel this topic is a little bit pointless, if you ask me. Number one, historically, there has not been a lot of African American swimmers to make it into the Olympics. Now, they're also, I think, banning these caps for swimmers even at local competitions as well, which I don't quite understand that. But what I think it has to do with is the whole point of being a competitive swimmer is you have to be streamlined in the water. You have to eliminate drag in the water. And if you have this big swim cap on and you have a lot of like bulk in the back, you're not only creating drag for yourself, but you're creating drag for the other people that are swimming around you, okay? So I get that like this is a tough situation for people with ethnic hair or with big, thick hair. But I think that maybe in time things will change because like I said, there hasn't been very many African American swimmers ever in the Olympics. So they haven't really had to deal with this before, but I think they'll probably, you know, address it in future games, okay? Which I hope they do. I hope they do. But, you know, people need to understand that they can't just accommodate everybody. Nothing's perfect, right? I wish for the longest time that this wasn't my hair. I wish that I could get out of the pool and my hair would just dry all nice, but it would be like a frizzy mess. But that wasn't the cards that I was handed. So I think the important message here is to know that you just need to make the best of what you have, deal with the resources that are given to you. And if you don't like what's out there, here's the other thing. Develop a solution. I think some of the greatest ideas come from people who have had to struggle with a product before, right? Like there hasn't been a product for them. Makeup is a really good example. You know, for a long time, brands were not coming out with a lot of shades, and now they are coming out with a lot of shades. Shampoos, hair products, clothes even, you know, clothes have evolved a lot throughout time because they realize that not all women are built the same. But I think that, you know, maybe somebody will take this opportunity, maybe a Black person will take this opportunity to create some of that generational wealth and entrepreneurship, right, for their community and for themselves, and develop the cap that blows the Olympic Committee away and meets all the criteria that they're trying to meet. I think that that would be a really great opportunity for somebody to try to tackle that problem. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think in the comments box below. Drop it all in there. You know how it is. I respond to almost everybody in the comments if you do drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like. Please do not forget to share. And don't forget to come back for another one. Thank you guys so much and have a good one. Bye-bye.